Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the new Charlotte Tilbury concealer and flawless finish powder. I'm just so excited. This was a launch that I was really hoping for. Since it's gonna be winter time and the natural light is very scarce, I did invest in this ring light. Now I'm gonna do this demo with this ring light, but I'm gonna make sure to also include only natural lighting when I do the final finished product. Anyway, I want to get in this video, so let's just get started. I have all my Charlotte Tilbury products over here. I have, of course, the new concealer, the new powder, but I also got a legendary brows that I want to get into because this is new to me. And I do feel like I have enough here to do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury. Also, before I get started, I love Charlotte Tilbury. I have a playlist of Charlotte Tilbury on my channel, so if you like Charlotte Tilbury content, you can peruse around the Charlotte Tilbury section and my playlist. And if you appreciate this video, make sure to press a like and maybe use one of my affiliates down below, because everything I make from this channel, even from affiliates, I'm gonna put back into this channel. I'm still a very small, tiny channel, a very small content creator, and I really appreciate if you want to support me by using my affiliates. Anyway, let's get started. So here you have the outside carton, the unit carton, the component. Look how beautiful it looks together. I love that she kind of went, instead of that normal Charlotte Tilbury brown with the gold, she's going into this new direction where she's using this white, which looks very, I guess, clean. I think it's a nice direction because it was kind of getting outdated. I think that color and just that color story. Let's first look at the Radiant Concealer. I got mine in shade 5 because shade 5 was described as fair medium shade with yellow undertones. I'm Asian mix and my undertones are incredibly yellow. I figured this would be a nice color for me. I also purchased the Beautiful Skin foundation not so long ago, also in shade 5. I remember it being a teeny tiny bit lighter than my usual skin, but I decluttered that foundation because it was just not working for me. It was way too glowy. My expectations of this concealer is actually super high, so let's talk about the claims a little bit. On the website it says it's a medium buildable coverage concealer to conceal, correct, brighten, and lift the look of your eyes. I paid 30 euros for this one. It's made in Germany and it has a shelf life of 6 months and it contains 7.2 grams or 0.25 ounces. In terms of concealer components, it doesn't look like much more than a usual component looks like, but this feels like proper sturdy aluminum. It has the logo on top, which I really like. It has the Beautiful Skin on the side with, again, that Charlotte Tilbury. I guess this is also sort of like the logo with the diamond. And when you open it, you get this beautiful doe foot applicator that is slightly angled, which will be really nice to use underneath the eyes. Now, since this concealer should be a little bit brightening, I'm actually quite happy with the color that I chose. My hand is a little bit darker than the rest of my body because, you know, driving and such and the amount of times you wash your hands. By the way, this is a swatch of Victoria Beckham Beauty's new Satin Kajal liner in the shade Fig. I recently just got this in mail. Recently, I say like literally 1 second ago, and I just had to swatch it right away. But this is going to be a Charlotte Tilbury video. I'm not going to be demoing that eyeliner today, but I'm going to try to demo it tomorrow. So really subscribe to my channel if you like any of the brands that I'm talking about. Anyway, also new to my collection, I bought Refer and Sonia G brushes that I'm going to be using for my demo as well. So let's maybe start with the base. I'm going to skip through the base a little bit. I'm not going to talk over it. I'm just going to show you the steps that I'm doing in a very timely manner. Applying my base with this Sonia G Jumbo brush was absolutely amazing. Where has this been all my life? This is such a good brush. Oh my god, it went by so fast. Okay, so I have my foundation down. Let's put on some concealer. Okay guys, so this is what the concealer looks on one side. Let's zoom in using my ring light and also zoom in using natural light only. Off the bat, I think that this looks super nice, but we can't really judge it just yet. I want to judge this and use my regular concealer or my favorite concealer on the other side and kind of see how well they perform next to each other. Maybe even I could do a wear test for you guys, so let's check that one out. My go-to concealer is the Kosas concealer, so I'm going to put the Kosas concealer on this side and see how they look next to each other. Now, of course, we're gonna have to set the face with a powder, and I got the new Airbrush Brightening powder. This is in the shade Light Medium. There's only 2 shades, and this looks like a translucent powder. This is the Unicorn. It has a 24-month shelf life. It's made in Italy. I paid 44 euros for it, and it's described as a complexion perfecting translucent powder to brighten, blur, and lift the look of your eyes and face. There should be no flashback because there should be light bounce technology, hyaluronic acid, vegan collagen, and golden vitamin C in this setting powder, and it should last up to 16 hours. Now, I love this compact. It's a change up from her original compact. The original compact came in this classic golden case, and this is a mini, of course, but this new compact makes it look more, I guess, more regal. It looks really pretty, but it does feel very similar to each other. It doesn't have that metallic finish, but it has more of a, I guess, satin finish. It's still very reflective, and of course the inside looks very Charlotte Tilbury-esque. Because this is refillable, it does kind of wiggle around for me in the, yeah, like it twists. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it doesn't matter. I think it's more important that the product works really well. So what I want to do is I want to put all the newness on one side, and then I'll use the old, like our tried and true flawless finish powder on my Kosas side. I didn't repurchase the flawless finish powder, but I have it right here in this face palette by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pretty Blush Beauty, the Instant Look of Love in a palette, Pretty Blush Beauty, and this one has the original powder. This, I believe, is in the shade Fair. So let's see how they perform. I'm gonna zoom you guys back in again, and let's continue on. I don't think this is necessarily a powder brush, like one for setting powder, but I'm still gonna be using it. Talking for a bit too long, so taking away some of that crease. Then let's go in to the original powder and put it on the other side, also taking away that excess crease. Okay, so these are the 2 powders applied off the bat. This one, the newer one, definitely looks more brightening, but this is it with the ring light on, so let's first check it out. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to finish up the face, and then I'll show you guys my final look. And after I show you guys my final look, I'm going to zoom you guys in again, see what the complexion looks like, and hopefully I can do a wear test for you guys. So let's get started. I'm going to speed through this process. Also, before I forget, I am going to do the final thoughts at the end of this video, so you can also use the timestamps below if you don't want to see what else I'm going to put on my face. Okay guys, so this is what my face looks like in natural lighting. Also, let me know in the comment section down below if you liked the additional lighting or if you like the natural lighting. I usually want to try to do everything in natural lighting, but like I said, it's gonna get darker soon and it's pretty hard to only do natural lighting because at some point there is no natural lighting for me to work with. Okay, so let's talk concealer. Concealer wise, I have it still on the back of my hand and it's quite a thick concealer. It is being marketed as a medium coverage concealer and that's exactly what I want my concealers to be. I don't want full coverage concealers, I want medium coverage concealers. But if I were to compare it to my concealer that is from Kosas, which is currently my #1 concealer. It's been for over a year my #1 concealer. This one seems a little bit more easy to spread and actually feels a little bit less thick than the new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin one. And if you want to see the difference between if you want to apply it new to if it has been on the skin for a while, I do see a color difference. So mind you, there is a little bit of oxidation when you're using this, and I mean just a tiny little bit. The oxidation on me turns into a little bit more, I guess, red or peach toned than the actual initial application of this concealer. Because it is thicker in consistency, I feel like it starts out to be a medium coverage right off the bat. I also felt it was a little bit harder to spread out, and I don't, by no means I mean hard to spread out, I just mean a little bit harder to spread out than my regular Kosas one. That one is very spreadable, if that's even a word that I can use here, but I think I'm getting the message across. It was easier to spread out the concealer and kind of distribute it over the face on Kosas than on the Beautiful Skin concealer. Mind you, it doesn't deter me from using this concealer. If I'm gonna be really honest, I know I'm still having... If I'm gonna be really honest, what I like about this concealer is that because it's a little bit less, spreadable, it actually gives you more coverage on the places where I initially put the concealer. So coverage wise, I feel like it covers more of my under eye on the Beautiful Skin side by Charlotte Tilbury than my Kosas one because I've spread it out a little bit too much. Both of them are quite buildable, so that is something that I really like. And even though I just said that there is a little bit of oxidation, I don't feel like the oxidation is so much that we can't use concealer anymore and it's changed my skin color altogether. I actually feel like it looks really pretty underneath the lids, and as of right now, I don't feel like it looks really crepey, didn't age me. I'm really wondering how this is gonna wear. Overall, I actually think this is a really good concealer and it's holding its place nicely next to my #1, which is the Kosas. So I'm definitely interested to see how this is gonna wear over time and maybe having a new favorite one of the year. Fingers crossed. Right now they look about very equal when I see them side by side. I feel like in terms of creasing, they both don't crease really easily. They both are staying put. I just feel like the Beautiful Skin one is a bit more brightening. Okay, now let's talk about powders. So I compared the two powders by Charlotte Tilbury. Of course, I got this one not in the original compact, but I got it right here. And this newer one, the Airbrush Brightening powder. Off the bat, the brightening powder is brightening. It looks more brightening, it looks brighter underneath the eyes. It's not supposed to have any flashback when you use photography on it. I'm just gonna hold you to it, Charlotte. It's fine, I'm not even gonna go into it. I think the initial thought of it being more brightening, definitely it's there. The powder feels like a solid powder by Charlotte Tilbury. It feels very finely mailed and actually it feels very similar to each other. So here you see them side by side. You see that the amount of pickup by twisting it is about the same, and of course the color is a little bit different because this is a translucent powder and not a powder that gives a little bit of color. So therefore you also get more of that brightening next to it, which of course that is very normal. This also has some skincare benefits to it. I saw hyaluronic acid, I saw vitamin C. I don't purchase my makeup with the skincare benefits in mind, but I do like that makeup is going that direction, regardless if it has enough of that ingredient to properly represent that benefit, you know what I mean? But I do like the direction this is going. I also love the way that this compact is formed. I like that it's refillable. What I don't really like is that it turns. It's like a freaking turning table up in here. So it's not very solid in the pan. I kind of want my powders to just sit flat and not move anymore. So that's maybe one little con, but other than that, I think the compact looks really nice, and the fact that it's a 24-month shelf life, that's pretty solid. 44 euros is quite a bit of money, especially for the powders, because I go through my Charlotte Tilbury powders all the time. Of course, now that I'm reviewing makeup, I actually have more powders on hand. Usually, back in the day, I only had the original powder on hand, and I kind of went through them pretty fast. Hi guys, this is my 6-hour check-in. Unfortunately, I can't do an 8-hour check-in if I want to get this video out by today, and I really do, but I feel like 6 hours you can already tell so much about a concealer and a powder. So we're gonna zoom in and we're gonna look at what 6 hours did to my face. It's a humid day today. It's quite warm in the Netherlands. And I did do a lot. I just had dinner, so if you see a little bit of pizza somewhere, I am so sorry. But basically, I think it's a valid test of 6 hours. So let's check out the face. So this is what the face looks like up close. What do you guys think? And of course, without the ring light. So this is what I think as a first impression after 6 hours. One, it held up beautifully. And with it, I mean both the concealer and the powder. Honestly, I didn't think the powder was going to be a big high risk because Charlotte Tilbury does powders really well. She's known for her Flawless Filter setting powder, the original one. I actually can't believe she came out with this one, so a newer one. And I will say it does look more brightening on the face than her OG powder. Powder-wise, it's an incredibly stunning powder if you like the idea of a translucent powder. So a powder that doesn't show up on the face, it doesn't change your concealer color at all, there's no coverage or anything, then I think this is a go-to for you. But don't go ahead and get this just because you feel like you need to have this one instead of your original one. Finish up your original one and then maybe look into this powder. There's no point in you getting this powder over the one that you already have, because most of you probably already have the original powder. It's a beautiful setting powder. It's the same price. It is refillable and it's gonna be in the line for the next, I don't know how long. So personally, I feel like the powder, as great as it is, I would recommend it. I don't think you need to have it right now ASAP. With that said, let's talk about concealers. Now it's going up against a concealer that I absolutely love, which is the Kosas concealer. When I look at the concealers together, I actually feel that the Beautiful Skin Concealer by Charlotte Tilbury outperforms my favorite concealer by Kosas. One, because the brightening effect on the Charlotte Tilbury one is a bit better. It added a bit more coverage in the places where I wanted coverage, and I feel that in the end you can definitely see a difference between one having a little bit more of a bag underneath than the other one. I also feel that if you go really up close, then the Kosas side looks a little bit more drying than the Beautiful Skin side. So in terms of me recommending one of these products, I honestly think that the concealer by Charlotte Tilbury is worth it. And if you were looking into it, then I would highly recommend you to check out the affiliates down below. And I feel like I can recommend this without having a heavy heart. I feel like I can recommend this if you like a medium coverage concealer that is a little thick but not too bad. It does blend out, it oxidizes a little bit, but it is very brightening. So that's a little bit on the concealer, first impressions, and the powder. I think both performed absolutely amazing, I'm not gonna lie. And if you are interested and you were waiting for a review and you saw this one, please make sure to use one of my affiliates down below if you want to support me. Again, it's really up to you. It's only if you want to support my channel. I earn a little bit of commission when you use one of my affiliates, and that commission I can use again to buy products or buy equipment for my channel. You can like or subscribe to my channel. They really help me out with my channel. You can also nerd out about makeup with me, so comment down below. I'll make sure to comment back and we can just talk makeup. If you like Charlotte Tilbury, please make sure to check out my playlist of all the Charlotte Tilbury products. Before I leave, also make sure to let me know which side you think looks better. Do you like my new side, so the new powder with the new concealer, or do you like my OG powder with the Kosas concealer better? Because that also helps me out. This is definitely as much as my first impression as your first impression. So yeah, please let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway guys, I'm gonna round off the video here. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.